Hello there, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. The Timmix here, giving the Daddy's Boy Challenge a second serious try now. First time flamed out real quickly. And I put some time in really thinking and looking at some stuff. And the finances here was the biggest part. I've played through the opening prep stuff, so we're about to head into Cape Town. And but first, a couple things that weren't so difficult. Obviously, being down 26 points to 10 against Spartan after 2 races. Got to find a way to do that significantly better. One big way, don't screw up the qualifying with Bobby Stone. Because he could have finished better in at least that second race if I hadn't messed that up. That's an important consideration. So I want to do that better. And another one is I did the dilemma choice the same. There's no point taking on the negative party animal trait. It just doesn't work. I really wrestled with what to do financially, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go ahead with upgrading the HQ like I did before. I did go ahead and do that. I built the simulator. But I've got to be more careful with how much money I spend because, I looked at the staff. I tried to find ways to maybe get cheaper, hire different people. I couldn't find any options that I thought were good. I could improve the staff by spending a little bit more money on like a mechanic or designer, but I don't think we can afford that. What we need is more income. So marketability is already through the roof. Just there's only so much money that you can make in each tour. And the GT series isn't as lucrative as the others, or as the open wheel, the WMC, where we were before with Scuderia Rossini, Dieter Wexler, and all that. That's like the top of the line. You can't make that much money. I've gone through that again, but I'll just go through. You see, the GT Championship Series got a prize fund of $250 million, which is half of what the WMC has, and only a fraction of the audience. So it's just, it's not. I'm not going to be able to spend money the same way here. I've already got the HQ. Just heading back to that. I mean, it's already overall. Spartan is just a hair higher, but we've got the best design, number 2 factory. Best performance, best staff and brand. So I'm not sure what actually is better about Spartans. I should probably take a look at that. Oh, there's us. You can see we've got level 2 factory, level 2 design, 58 staff, 1.5 stars overall. They've got level 2, 56 staff, 1.5. So it's, you're probably talking about something that's just a hair better. So what I did is when I went through the part design, we're about to finish up latest round of brakes here. If we look at the parts, you can see we have finished the first brake. Messed around with the part design thing, made sure I understood everything completely. And then I also gave Stone the best of everything. So he's going to be happy. Gabler isn't, but I really feel like I need to balance things out in the favor of Stone. I need to give him everything that I can give him in order for him to compete and have any kind of chance to get up there in that top 6 and get some points. Gabler is already able of doing that on her own, so I'm hoping to keep her morale up. See, that's a neutral or plus 1% morale change. So if she does reasonably well in the races, her morale shouldn't fall too low. That's what I'm going to try to bank on. And then also, I'm focusing more on the crucial parts, which in this case are the brakes and the gearbox going into the race. So just made some tweaks there. But when I'm designing the new parts, I was using that 500K a payment to subtract time and get them done quicker. And I just don't think I can afford that kind of money. So that's there. And then in the sponsors, I was a little bit more careful when I picked these. I think I picked all the same ones, except I haven't selected one for this. And the reason is, Access Sport, there's no upfront payment. All they're going to do is give us a bonus if we have a first place target. And we saw before, having a first place target, really not realistic for us right now. The only thing that I was able to find in terms of one of the other things that was not really happy with is I think we ought to be able to compete better with Lori here. And the only thing I found, as you can see, is got an easy on fuel ability. So they're going to burn less fuel. But other than that, I think making these little tweaks that I've done, but roughly the same approach, and then continuing to improve the race strategy. I think I've really got to match up the tires, when to go hybrid mode on the ERS system, how much fuel to take. I feel like I'm carrying too much fuel at the beginning of the races, especially for Gabler. I've got to just work on that. I've got to get better at it. And then probably still accept the fact that I'm, likely to start off behind. Particularly given that Spartan has a more fuel-efficient chassis. But hopefully not start off as far behind and then gradually bounce back from that as I get the new parts flowing into the cars. So, for better or worse, that's what I'm going with. And it's time to get going to Cape Town. Now, I think the 7th or above is my best one. And I'm going to lose money either way. Like if I get this bonus pool, but I'm not sure why it's only that amount. But regardless of all that, I need to continue. Because I can get the top 7, top 3 is dicey. And I probably could get it during the race, but the difference in the bonus isn't enough to guarantee that. The value of the El Banco sponsor offer was more in the fact that I believe it was a $3 million upfront payment. So I spent most of my money on getting the simulator built and getting a couple brakes built, and then they were able to give me a nice little influx of cash. So we're gonna still be bleeding money, but hopefully we can balance some of that out by bonus payments in the races, and then also new sponsor deals here and there. I'm still real concerned about how the long-term financial picture is going to look as the season progresses. But right now, I think this is the best that I can do here. And you can see we've got acceleration and deceleration crucial, top speed useful. So I've been focusing on those two. Okay, so here we are at the end of the practice session. And obviously I like the times that we got here, but you can see a lot of people didn't spend much time out on ultras. So, and that's also another thing that I did here that I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse about, which is focusing on the ultras instead of the super softs. The thought behind it is that I sort of ended up doing more the ultras at first, long super soft stint in the middle, and then ultras again to finish. So maybe I would spend more of the race on the ultras. But I think I'd actually probably be better off doing sort of 2 medium super softs later, particularly given the temperatures, because you can't ride the ultras as hard. They can't survive the temperatures, so you're going to have to conserve most of the time on those tires anyway. So I'm sort of not really liking that choice, but it's not going to matter that much because in this case the practice session is mostly rain, and so we spent most of the time out there on inners in any case. So it's time to head over to qualifying, see what happens there. Alright, so here are very unexpected results from the first round of qualifying. We got Sevilla for Spartan already out of it, 17th. Both Vittoria Corsa drivers out, but look at Bobby Stone. He just, we ran 2 laps, qualifying laps, one with inters under the wet weather and one with ultra softs, and for some reason, Gabler struggled a little bit with both of them, but when it came to the last one, on ultra softs, Stone just knocked it out of the park. I think he was the second to last person to complete a lap, so he did it under pretty optimal conditions, but still. He was almost 0.2 of a second ahead of the field. Now, I don't see that holding, but that was pretty cool. So, we'll see if we can go ahead and build on that for the second qualifying session, get them both in the top 10. Alright, so here is our second qualifying session results, and you can see this is pretty nice. Gabler up to second, Stone still near the top in fourth, and it should be noted that those times at the end, I did them on partly used ultra softs, because all I wanted to do was get into the top 10. There was, again, 1 round on inters, 1 round on ultra softs. Lori bumped to the back. Again, that's not going to matter that much when it comes to the race, but it will help some, in theory. And so, yeah, we're feeling pretty good about that. But now it's time for the real test. It's time for the final round of qualifying, and I'll stick through the whole thing here, of course, because this is the part where it's really going to matter. With us getting Stone first in the first session and Gabler second in the second session, I'm really not expecting to, but it would be nice. Yeah, that's right, this one's dry the whole way through. It would be nice to get the pole position. You can see we've made adjustments to Gabler. We've got her at 99%. We're obviously thrilled with that. And what I've settled into here is sort of getting Gabler out first and getting her third to a half through her warm-up lap, and then we come in with Stone, who is at 98%, and there's nothing to complain about with that either. And once Stone gets out on the track, set his motor at about the middle, switch back to Gabler, get her set up, and this just gives me plenty of time to sort of lock them both in as best I can. There we go. Great and good is the best I've been able to get that. And then I can go ahead and switch over to Stone until he starts. And then we've got Gabler about 20 seconds into her lap. And of course, being the fastest lap doesn't mean, fastest sector doesn't mean anything because it's the only one. Looks like we're getting whoever that is behind us is actually running better. I wonder if that's Trenoweth. We'll see. But still, of the early laps, Gabler looking the best. And Hashimoto ran just slightly faster than that. It was 1:11, like 0.46 or 0.49 or something in the second qualifying session. So we can be happy with that as being a strong time. Yeah, Trenoweth a full second behind. Stone half a second behind. would, you know, so you see that it feels to me like this qualifying is going better overall than they were going the first time around. And it's going to be dry the whole time, so we're going to want to wait till the end. And I'm actually going to send Stone first because I want Gabler to get the final shot. And I think she's got the best chance to get on pole for us. 1 second gap between best and worst. But Gabler in the lead right now. We'll see Hashimoto and Kaluza appearing to be the top challengers. Holgerson and what's-his-face, the driver from Spartan, not around. Soon. You can see so far, you know, all these sectors have been the best times for these drivers, which makes sense with the improving track conditions. Kaluza, though, not improving, but oh, it's time. Just a hair later than I wanted to be, actually. Let's make sure I get these laps in time. I want new tires. Stone, you get out there. Probably going to pull the trigger on Gabler here just a little bit sooner. Maybe about there. I don't want to wait too long. And this is going to be close. I'm getting her out a little bit too late. So this is going to be real close. And probably not going to quite make it. Which is really going to suck. Okay, perfect there. Although Holgerson is around, Hashimoto was unable to beat her time. So there is that too. And here comes Gabler. Final seconds. And she, boy, 1 or 2 seconds left, just barely getting it. The problem is, had to go around another driver. Yeah. That's probably got a lot to do with her being that far behind. Just being right there with, it looks like the Spartan car, but it's not. It's Bags. That's Bags. Alright. Yeah, Gabler did well after the start. Monopole, you've got to be kidding me. That's right. That's right. So that's very nice. Just in and of itself, getting those 2 bonus points. Gabler on pole, Stone in 5th. Can't ask for better than that. I don't think I did anything that great to make that happen, by the way. But, I'm still going to take it. Not throwing it back. Now, I should have done this for qualifying, but I'm going to look at the weight stripping. But I still don't think there's anything. Well, I could probably sneak. Yeah, I can sneak that in and that in. So 60 points. Not a lot for Stone, but every little bit helps. Holding steady here. You can see the changed focus got just over 80% instead of just under 80% on the brakes and the gearbox. Both vehicles. So just that little bit extra should help us. Not by a ton, but it should help us. Alright, so here we are at race day then. See if we can back up a better than expected showing in qualifying. And yeah, so we're definitely going to go with the Ultra Soft bonus. It's not supposed to rain, that being the reason, and the race trim. Of course, always going to go with the Engine Expert on Stone. And for the setup, go with 13 laps of fuel for Gabler. And then I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do with Stone, because he's not gonna he's not gonna be able, I don't think, to go the whole thing. I'm like, I can't reduce the fuel as much. I've discovered that in the past because of how hard he's going to ride the car. I'm going to try 20. Just see how that goes. I need to keep trying different things till I find the balance that works. So Gabler on the pole with bags, Hashimoto and Kaluza behind. Then Stone and Holgerson row 3. Wood and Trenoweth, Stephenson and Hume, and on down to the bottom of the field. The Spartan drivers, we've got Sevilla in 17th and Laurie in 13th, but they're not going to stay back there for long. Looks like a pretty good start for Stone. And look at Gabler just flying away. And I'm going to try just going with push and high. Boy, there's Stone. That would be great if, yeah, Stone, go aggressive and try to back up the other cars. Let's see if I can get away with that. Nope, I can't. It's worth a try. So yeah, first and third, and I'm not even pushing Gabler as hard. So that's nice. We've got Hashimoto, though, hot on her tail. Yeah, okay, let's push a little bit here all the way, see if we can stick with Hashimoto or not. And nope, and we gotta drop down the tires now. Let's drop down the tires. And Gabler, I would want you to go down to medium also. You're gonna lose some positions, but I don't really care. Oh my goodness, you're gonna have to go down to conserve because I waited just a bit too long on Stone. Those tires just heat up so fast. Gabler not driving well at all. He got a 3.6 Stone a lot better at 6.7, but Gabler still holding in second. Laurie already up to 6th, despite the inferior tires. 7th now. 6th and 7th. There's that battle. Look at the gap opening up. See if you can back those cars up now. It didn't work with Hashimoto. But I'm just trying to, get Gabler to run just solid laps. And I'm hoping she'll have some left at the end where she'll be able to use her hybrid mode. Okay, there's Stone losing the position. Go back up to neutral. But did pull out that to a 1.5 second difference between Gabler and the cars behind. So that'll give her some more room at least here to just run. And Laurie has fallen back to 8th. Sevilla at 13th. So the Spartan drivers not threatening, at least right now. They might well later. We got 3+ seconds from Gabler back to Laurie, though, and I'm liking that. Nice lap by Gabler. Stone now falling back through the pack. It was fun while it lasted. But it just seems not to be able to keep pace at this point. Gabler's going to have to back off the tires. I'd rather do it now while there's nobody around her. Because she can conserve the tires and maintain second position. I'd even be willing to dip them down lower and not use as much speed in this early stint. Stone down to 10th, then back up to 9th. %64 or higher. And 72 or higher for Gabler, who is not pushing it. Hoping that I can have her push it later. Stone back to 10th and 9th. Yeah, 11th. In terms of keeping everybody happy, that's not working too well. Laurie up to 6th. You can see Hashimoto pulling away. But I'm maintaining about that 1.5 gap. My tires are better than Stefansson and Kaluza behind. And Hashimoto's tires are worse also. That's got to be said too. So how much that's going to matter, how much time I'm going to get out of that, I don't know. Gabler pulling out some again. Stone not having fun at the moment. And he's got all my best parts. He's got that little bit of weight stripping. There's nothing more I can do for him. He's running flat out. Part of it is probably just the fuel situation, how much more fuel he's carrying than the other drivers. No, you can't. Nobody's making it to the end of the race with this much fuel. Stone up to 9th. It's a nice little bump. Lori up to 8th. So gradually pressing up through the field. And I think it's time to go back up to neutral here on Gabler. I think I want to start going to hybrid mode at about 2 laps of fuel left. I just want to see how that works. We're on lap 12. Gabler's going to go hybrid. Let's just see how much we can get out of this. Stone's got to go conserve. And you can see that his tires are going to be down soon. I think he still had too much fuel. In terms of Gabler, I think I was pretty close on the fuel amount, but I think Stone had too much fuel. Now Hashimoto's tire's really hurting, and we're actually making a charge there, because that was up to, I think, a little over 5 seconds. And now Hashimoto into the pits. And Gabler back in the lead. We'll see for how long. Hashimoto dropping all the way back. And what in the world? Hashimoto putting on ultras that are not even full. Well, that's not the smartest move in the world, but I'll take it. Okay, time to go hybrid now for Stone. You see, I've gone around a couple laps and only used like 1/3 of a lap of fuel. So that really doesn't use much at all in hybrid mode. Of course, it's going to use more for Stone, who is going after it aggressively. But you see, it also doesn't use that much energy. You can see how slowly it's going down. Stone stuck behind Sevilla and not having a fun time of it. So definitely going to make it around a little bit further with Gabler than I have on the previous times. So here comes Stone now. I've got to decide what to do with him. Can he make it around one more lap? Probably shouldn't, with the tire condition. Okay. So honestly, like a full tank fits well with ultras for Stone. I don't know if I can do it, but I want to try to, well, 20 to 22. That's a little iffy. I don't know if I can make it on 2 more stints. I might be able to. I'm going to try it. Fill up all the way. Park condition, nothing. Don't recharge. Yeah. Fill up all the way, then burn through that fuel. But 7th place coming into the pits. Not at all the first driver to come in, although a lot of them still have not. Good pit stop, all things considered. Everything's how we want it. And there's Gabler, and I'd like to leave her out here as long as I can, use up that fuel, but I think it's going to be the last one. Use up that battery. The battery started, I believe, at 40%, so she's actually going to be down below what it was when she started the race, which is great that we're using it. And, yep, I think we definitely got to come in now. I did pick the Ultra Soft bonus for her, and I think I'm going to stick with those. Because if she made it 18 laps, yeah. Let's just stick with 3 times Ultra. And the other thing of that is with the hybrid mode, I don't need... See, 13 laps of fuel is actually too much. So, let's go with 12. Let's go with 12. Don't need to fill up nearly as much. And what I want to go with for her is probably just a solid middle stint again, and then go hard at the end. Might go with a little more fuel and a little more aggressiveness in terms of the engine towards the end. But first place. Get out there. And starting at 31% now, we are in 7th. So 7th and 17th. Got more drivers pitting. Just see where Stone's at. Of course, he's got lots of fuel to burn. That's the thing about doing that all-out thing, is you're heavy. Oh my, Mia Holgersson crashing. That's a big one. She's a top competitor. And Gabler now up to 5th. Blasi into the pits. But Stone definitely in some trouble here, it would appear. Let's go conserve on the tires, since you're in the middle of traffic. Or not in the middle of traffic, I should say. And Gabler with lots of room to run also, so I want to do the same thing. The other thing is, these tires are going to last a little bit longer than the first set. So I'm going to want to come in maybe lap 38 or 39 if I can make it there. Be fairly cautious on the tires. Stone, burn through that fuel. Because that fuel is just weighing you down. You can see Lori, Dutt, Rodriguez, they haven't come in yet. Their tires are really getting bad. They're going to come in soon. Gabler, the best tires by far of anybody in the top 10. I'm really happy with how she's doing. Stone is the problem. Got to get ready to turn on this hybrid mode. if I even want to do that. And I don't really think I even do. I'm not even going to go hybrid. I'm just going to give him a speed boost. There we go. That gained me about 2/3 of a second to close in, and then now you can go neutral. Rodriguez in first, Hashimoto in second, and Gabler now in third. Stone up to 15th. See how he does as he chews through that fuel a little bit lower. Hopefully he can start making up time through the field. If he doesn't, then we're going to have problems. Definitely got to boost the tires up here now. Let's use up some of those on Gabler. And Hashimoto has come in once, but is going to have to come in again very, very soon. So is Rodriguez. Gabler is going to have another run in the lead soon. There's Hashimoto in. Goodbye. Yeah, 7 seconds back of Rodriguez, whose tires are fading, and that's not going to last very long. Boy, Hashimoto again putting on used ultras. That is just not the wisest move in the world. And Stone trying to get past Capello. Trying to move up through the field. Rodriguez into the pits now, so just before the halfway point, Gabler running in the lead and up by 7 seconds now over a fading Will Hume. Touran GT team there in the second position. Stone up to 11th. Would really like to somehow get him into the top 6 and get a point. Get his happiness up. I don't see it happening, though, until we start getting some better parts over to him. "13-second lead on Lori now for Andrea Gabler. Couple more drivers pit, and Stone gets up to 9th, now 10th. Down to 8 laps of fuel. His speed should be definitely improving. We can see Gabler starting to save up now on that battery. Soon we're going to move to hybrid for you. And Stone gets past Capello. Capello pitting. Stone up to 8th. Just a little ways in front of Hashimoto. Not going to hold that position. But a lot of it's going to depend on the stops. How many of these drivers can get away with 2. Because we're just over halfway through. So They're taking that second stop now. They might have to stop a third time, and I'm not planning on stopping a third time. Yep, you're going to be just fine with those fuel levels. Keep it rolling. Why don't you conserve a little bit, though? Conserve the tires, that is. So first and eighth, we're not looking bad, and including the including the bonus from the getting the pole, we would be a strong first after the first race, and that would be just great. Obviously, off to a much better start. Best lap yet for Gabler. And time for you to go hybrid. We can see what we're doing on the tires here. We're not going to get very many hybrid laps out of Stone. So, very clear that I had too much, just too much fuel. Running with too much fuel for Stone. Because his tires just aren't lasting long enough to make it worth it. The fuel is piling up. No, it isn't. Just getting ready to switch, and Stone in 7th. Getting ready to switch over to hybrid. And there we are. Get maybe a couple laps out of that. Dropping down to 8th now. Here's Gabler, and is actually gaining time on Laurie, about almost a second since Laurie came back out. Still got a few laps to go, I think. Which is good, because I need to try to squeeze out to lap 38, 39. Stone is not going to make it. That's rather obvious. And matter of fact, Stone, go in. Okay. And this time I do think I need to give him a full set of fuel, because he's going to have to go a more extended time on hybrid at the end to make it through. Just because of it being a longer distance. He's gone like 16, 18 laps, and now he's going to have to go 24. Which means he's going to have to go with the regular soft tires. Should not have to do that with Gabler here. Lead down to 13 seconds over Laurie. And now out comes Stone. So he's going to be pretty slow now, using super softs and being full load of fuel. This may be Gabler's last lap. Maybe she goes... I'd like to get one more. Yeah, it's only lap 36. And I wanted to get to about lap 38. Yeah, conserve. I definitely want to go conserve. And I'm going to have to go light on the tires here and light on the tires again in the last set. Well, you better go and just get through this traffic. Get past Trenoweth. Do it now. Or don't. Okay. I'm going to go with medium. Back up to neutral. Yep, there we go. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be able to get away with the ultras, but we're going to have to be really careful on the tires. The way the fuel has gone, I want to be a little bit more aggressive driving this. I did just a little bit over 12. I'm going to go with that, 13.8, because I don't want to... I want to be able to go in high most of the time. Well, no I don't. Not with a gearbox that low. Okay, scratch that plan. It's definitely scratch that plan. We're going to go with... Yeah, we're going to go with that. Just kind of got to try to finish the race then with that gearbox issue. And how about Stone? I'd like you to get caught up to this traffic here. Are you catching them or are they running away? Yeah, they're kind of running away. You go ahead and do a speed boost here. About that much of one. Gained about a second out of it. So, Gabler, final pit stop coming out in fourth. Just in fourth. Fifth now behind Sevilla. Sevilla's going to have to go in soon. That's not the end of the world. We were going to conserve the tires, so let's just do it now. You can see the battery not very high and 15%. Stone making his way back up through the field, and for him now it's just going to be a case of who has to pit. Who can he stop? Gabler up to fourth and wanting to pass Sevilla. I don't like the fact that we're being held up here. But I also don't have the fuel to do anything about it. So I'm actually just going to go on low. Because I don't want to use the fuel if it's not going to get me anywhere. I'm just going to wait for Sevilla to pit. Conservative, wait for Sevilla to pit. I would back off on that now. Come on, Sevilla, go in. Go in so we can start gaining time again. Save the car, wait for her to pit. And I'm starting to get worried about that gearbox. Because for whatever reason, it's having a bad day. Yep. There's a lot of time left. Don't know if Gabler's going to make it. I really don't think she's going to. Definitely not going to do anything above medium here. For any reason. Doesn't matter what's going on. I can't afford to do it. And Sevilla, would you just pit already? Okay, now Sevilla is going to go pit. Finally. There we go. Well, let's switch back up to medium. And we're up to third. If we can survive the rest, Lori and Dutt probably have to go in again. So it's just a question of whether the gearbox survives the rest of the race. That's what this is about. Meanwhile, Stone. Spoiler's getting a little iffy. We're doing well otherwise. Gonna survive the race. That's not a problem here. The problem here is finishing in a reasonable position. 14th. Not a great place to be. There's bags going into the pit. Coming back out on used Ultras. Why does everybody think it's a good idea to come back out on used tires? I do not know. I'm going to go up to neutral for a little while. Okay, so 12 laps to go as we're starting to work our way towards the end of this. Roberts went wide. Roberts was 15th. Or actually, Roberts was just ahead of Stone. Stone picked up a spot through that. Very nice. Kaluza, several drivers going to the pits. Stone now up to 10th. And he's going to stay out there. So he's now a top half guy, but like a full minute behind the lead drivers. Dutt goes into the pits. No, you shouldn't. You're going to be going hybrid mode when you need to do that. So when Lori goes in, I should, in theory, be able to take the lead with Gabler. I am catching up, but it's slow. Trenowith in 16th with a mechanical issue. Starting to worry about the spoiler. Yeah, it's starting to get a little iffy, but I think you should be able to make it. And there's Lori into the pits, and we are now first. 7 seconds probably and dropping. So, yeah. Sevilla in 5th. This would have us... Yeah, we'd still have a lead over Orange and Spartan. I like this overall, except for the whole part with Stone. Let's go over another speed boost. Same amount as usual. Use about a third of it. And both drivers now getting to the point where we're going to be going hybrid for the last several laps, or at least for most of the last several laps. I want to get Stone down maybe 2.5. And I'm going to let Gabler get down a little bit lower, maybe to 1.5, because of how effective it is. There we go. You can go hybrid. You can see Hume really burning it, trying to get back on the lead lap. And now let's go hybrid for Gabler. And the lead is shrinking, the lead back to Laurie. See Laurie really burning up her engine but conserving fuel. Or his engine, excuse me. We've now got 7, maybe 6.5 laps to go. The gearbox is going to start causing problems. Boy, this is going to be right down to the wire whether I make it around ahead of him. Keep saying her. Laurie, but it's a guy. I have to back off on the tires here some for Stone. And here's the problem, because we've got to try to make it through traffic. And we can't really afford to go any faster than we are. There's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do here really is be happy that Laurie also has to make it through traffic. Laurie's got 17th and 18th place cars, Kaluza and Hume between us. There we go. I thought there we went. We almost went there. But no, we didn't. Uh, 5 laps to go. Gotta keep going. And boy, I've got to really knock down the hybrid. Doesn't reduce the fuel usage as much apparently when you're going in high octane. So now Stone's got to just try to get around the track. Go neutral on the tires at least, buddy. We're still stuck behind the same... There we go, finally. For a second at least. Nope. Not staying in front. I think we might be here though. Yeah. I think we got the position over Capello. And nobody else in front now. It's clear sailing. Three laps. Can we make it around 3 laps with a dying gearbox? And if we do, can we stay ahead of Laurie? And look at Laurie using the speed boost. Nice thing to have in the tank, I will admit. And got past one of those two cars in traffic, but not them both. Looks like Stone is going to be able to hold in 9th, which is not great, but I'll deal with it. And Spartan now would have 9 points, clear second. Really important that we hang on to this lead here. You can see the battery dying, 12%, 11%, but we've got enough of it. Well, we've got a lap and a half now, is all we've got. And I can boost up the fuel to there, at least for Stone. Oh, up to 8th now, as over Tanaka, and I think I can go high. I'm gonna just really have to watch that. Lead up now to over 2.5 seconds. I think we've got this against Laurie. We're on the final lap. Stone is not. But yeah, we should have this. Now we're talking about excess fuel. But the battery is about dead. Look at this, 2%, 1%, and the hybrid energy is about to die. 0%. And hybrid is gone, but we still have half a lap of fuel. That is cutting it well. And winner, chicken dinner. Now let's go back low, go back down to medium. Yep. Or else you're not going to have enough to get... No, you're still not going to have enough. Low. Oh, get there. And Stone runs out of fuel. An electrical power alone. Is he going to lose the spot? He is going to lose the spot. I blow a spot from 8th to 9th. And he's like, oh, man. Managed it really well with Gabler. Not quite so much with Stone, but definitely learned a lot about the fuel management with the ERS. Still, winner. And 8th to 9th does not matter in terms of points because only the top 6 get points. So the only reason that even matters is for Stone's morale. So I'll be looking to get him up into the top 6 as soon as possible. Later on as we keep improving his parts. This is going to be crucial. So yeah, just over 2-second win. Big win there. See Laurie in 2nd, Sevilla 4th, so they're picking up lots of points there. Rodriguez with the Orange GT gets the fastest lap bonus, which is just fine with me because that means that Spartan doesn't get it. We make the sponsor objective here, but not with Stone. Okay. So, yeah, really thrilled about that. Three-point lead over Spartan. See, improving morale for Gabler. That's good. Morale dropping for Stone. Not good. No trade adjustments. The chairman happiness still improving, though, because we did well. As a group, we see the improvements here for Stone again. Stone not happy with finishing 9th in the race. So, yeah, just we got to try to get him up higher so that his morale doesn't dip too low. But it's at 79% now. It's not terrible. Lost 640K. The other thing is I'd like to boost up to getting better sponsor bonuses. I mean, if I'd known I was going to finish first, I would have aimed higher. So that is Cape Town. Second attempt at Daddy's Boy Challenge, and doing much better this time. It's only one race, but it's a good start, and I'm hoping that that's something we can build on and stay at or close to the lead. So there's our final so far. 12 for Hammer, 9 for Spartan, 6 for Orange. We are the three that really taken the bull by the horns after the first race. Lots more this season yet to come, of course. Thanks for watching. See you next time when we head up to Rio.